I was sitting earlier today in an office with an architect, and we're having this discussion. Well, we'd like to maybe put the master suite more toward the back of your property, but there's an oak tree there. Now, we could apply for a permit to cut the tree down, but we'd have to get a note from an arborist, to get it through the city. So either we can take the bedroom and not bring it back as far, or maybe we'll get permission from the city to cut the tree down. And now, if we can get an arborist to sign off on, all I'm hearing is money. We can get an arborist we work with. If we can get him to sign off on it, then we can cut it. Now, if we cut it, we got to plant 4. The property already has 128 oak trees on it. I don't know how you can get any more oak trees on it, but lots of discussions with the taxpayers. That's me, the guys doing it. I think the city will let us do this. I'd like to have our founding fathers in that office so they could never stop throwing up. I will fucking explain to these guys, no, we're going to ask for permission. To cut down a tree? Yes. On city property? No, on my property. Hold on. This can't be right. Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard. You want to go down to the city council and the civic center or a library and cut down one of their trees and use the wood for firewood? No. My property. My property. And you have to get permission? Well, and I have to pay them. I mean, it's not going to be free. You have to pay them to cut down a tree on your property? Well, it's an oak tree. There are 28 oak trees on your property. Yeah, but anyway. Maybe they let us do it. If they let us do it, it'd be fine, but we'll have to plant 4 other ones. They would go, get my musket. Get my powder horn and my fucking musket. Like, this experiment didn't work.
Yeah.
It did not work. If you were then going to the city to ask them for permission to cut down a tree on your property, then experiment failed. Because that's is that your, do you own the property? Do you have the deed to the property? Do you pay taxes on the property? Yes, yes, and yes. Then there's no way you could never explain that to a founding father, that I'm going to get permission. And look, let's keep our fingers crossed. Maybe they'll let me do that. Maybe they'll let me cut a tree down on my property. Now, my mom, who doesn't own any property or pay any taxes, likes that idea. She's all for that idea. Of course she's all for that idea. She doesn't pay any fucking taxes or have anything. She doesn't want to build anything. She's not building a house. She's not going to pay more taxes after the house is done and the property value goes up and everything. So she's all for it. Fucking insane. It's fucking insane. It's the opposite of America. Well, it's the opposite of why we have this country.
Well, we have certainly undermined the ideas of freedom upon which it was founded. That seems to have been our last thought in recent years.
Right.
Freedom is no longer our concern.
All right.
Right?
Father,
if you're mandating speech,
well,
that's the end of it. That's it.
That's it.
That's the last time. We think I'd have a First Amendment here that, well, they could make some laws around it, I suppose, but it really sounds like McCarthyism. I am not, nor have I ever been. Okay.
Well, here's the thing about McCarthyism. Communists were not good people, and they posed a threat.
Yep.
McCarthyism made sense in the context it was in. We were fighting the communists. They'd like to see us gone. And there were many people in Hollywood, surprise, surprise, who were fucking communists. Not because they like communism, but because they hate their dad. That's where it all comes from. You have to hate your dad because the country becomes your dad and whatever it is. And not that those people should have been kept from working, but that McCarthyism was rooted in something, which is we are fighting these people. We did the same thing with the Japanese American internment camps. George Takei gets his panties out of, pardon the pun, gets his panties in a bunch over it. But it's like, we didn't just walk around and start collecting people that look different than us. We got bombed and we were freaked out. And it was a reaction to being freaked out. But it's not because everyone's evil. It's because they're misinformed. They're chaotic. It's the fog of war and they're freaked out. So it's not to say it was wrong or no one got hurt. It was saying it wasn't as if we just decided based upon nothing in 1941 and a half to start rounding up Japanese families. And you go, well, that was wrong. Yeah, it was wrong. But let's at least put it in a context of we were bombed and we're freaked out. And then George would go, yeah, but this family over here living in Fresno had nothing. And I'd go, that's right. That's you making sense. That's not us freaking out. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.